we themselves don't take. So I they come to the panel in a bit. But before that, I want to take this opportunity as always for tell una all and waiting now the step them we themselves don't take. So I they come to the panel in a bit. But before that, I want to take this opportunity as always for tell una all 10 key members of the fourth estate for who wanna join we all across. We get prints, digital, we get all the, in fact, the bloggers them, then they are plenty. And for tell una thank you, una they always carry we live. Community radio stations all across Salone and they carry this press conference live. I want for also particularly tell them thank you, and then we partner them across. We get prints, digital, we get all the, in fact, the bloggers them, then they are plenty. And for tell una thank you, una they always carry we live. Community radio stations all across Salone and they carry this press conference live. I want for also particularly tell them thank you, and then we partner them, the Chinese government, UNDP, and voluntary service overseas VSO, we did make sure say all we events them we get live sign language interpretation. So we tell all the plenty thank you for that. Then they are plenty. And for tell una thank you, una they always carry we live. Community radio stations all across Salone and they carry this press conference live. I want for also particularly tell them thank you, and then we partner them, the Chinese government, UNDP, and voluntary service overseas VSO, we did make sure say all we events them we get live sign language interpretation. So we tell all the plenty thank you for that. Before we get into the heart, all the plenty thank you for that. Before we get into the heart of the conversation, as usual, we want to provide quick updates on the news. Waiting happen at the news inside the past week. We just the different sports will be include Scrabble, karate, gymnastics, volleyball, cricket, basketball, boxing, cycling, athletics, and women's football, among others. On the 25th of October, the president's been commissioned the state-of-the-art Kono Maternal Center for Excellence na Koidu City. It be described as a landmark achievement. We na a product of the strong partnership between the governments of Salone and partners in health. This state-of-the-art hospital don't expand within have been the former government hospital na Koidu from just 48 bed to now 120 bed them. They don't increase operating theater from 1 to 3 and introduce the country in first rural-based neonatal intensive care units. Residents been talk say he glad he say Kono not to place no more we sabi no more for Diamond, but he also allow know them for state-of-the-art health facility, and I make he been supports this big investments. The Minister of Information and Civic Education, Honorable Chernoba, been joined President Macron of France, President John Dramani Mahama of Ghana, plenty other world leaders them on a high-level panel na the Information Integrity and Independence Media na Paris, France last week. These events na President Macron and President Mahama them convene, they bring together different partner them. And then they ask me, I've been getting the privilege as Minister for Represent Salone for talk about the progress we Salone don't make. I collect for reminder on the press say from 2018, Salone don't the press freedom index by 23 places, more dramatic than any other country within that period because of President Bill in reform them. They don't end the criminal libel law, would they fund, would they provide resources to sludge. We don't co-launch the National Public Fund for Public Health Media, Public Media and Salone, and within the process for formulate the data protection law, with the strengthened freedom of information law, and not a single journalist not in a Salone, not in a jail in a Salone because of the work they do. This is not part of President Bill in commitments them to uniformize at that index day, and I've been very proud for represent the country in that big platform day. Saturday, 1st November, all Salon people and for congratulate on ourselves because the country Sierra Leone being take in seat again for become president of the United Nations Security Council. The Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres, for congratulate His Excellency President Julius Maada Bio for this great privilege time of great alone take that kind of big seat. We commend President Bio for consistency and in leadership, and we wish we well as we take on that position they for lead the world in global security conversation. On the 3rd of November, the Commissioner for the Anti-Corruption Commission, Francis Ben Kaifala, been take in 2024 annual reports to His Excellency President Julius Maada Bio at one big ceremony within Gretna State House. Commissioner Kaifala been talk about the major achievement them with the commission them being gets inside 2024, including say they don't get a new anti-corruption strategy. 91% compliance rates in asset declaration, one of the best on the continent. And he say don't recover over 22 million new loan and at 22 billion from people and we been they take from governments or don't get that money they back, who don't put it inside the government's quota. Now one area that against this President kind of power, we've been get 40% when it comes to control of corruption. We have consistently achieved over 70% because of the president's leadership. I want just also give an update on what Mbeke, the results will be for don't get Ministry of Education, yeah, but because of this issue, we focus on Kush, but I'll just give a quick update. The Beke results don't come out, as soon as I know. The summary that we get 130,135 candidates from 1,987 schools. The total number of students that will be absent for all paper them, all the paper with the name did not show up, now 5,570. Candidates that will take at least one paper now 124,565. The results were WAEC released to MBSSC now 129,260. The results were WAEC withhold entirely 1,673. Late entries were WAEC still all 371. The one that we WAEC all but not give because of continuous assessment 504. Effective results we WAEC analyzed 122,037 candidates. The gender breakdown 62,971 candidates for now being female, 59,066 now being male. Females outnumber males for the 5th consecutive year. Again, not also have been there. President Bio in leadership, investment. Pass rates, 5 subjects including English and Math, 94%. Pass, 114,709 candidates. 2024 pass rates now be 93%. So a slight decrease in terms of pass rates by about 2%. Paper pass rates now be 90% and are the 3rd highest ever rates. Highest district pass rates 99.1%. Lowest district pass rates 90%. No districts this year not get below 90%. So again, President Bio reform they all across. The best aggregates now is sister again now woman Maria Mayeli Bangura, Providence International School. Even gets aggregate 7. Next best again a girl picking Aminata BCC aggregate 8. St. Joseph Secondary School na McKinney. Best average grade 1.50. 6 candidates the Mintai including Adi Yamatsu Kamara, Sambu Suma, Education Academy Bombali, Esther Feremusu Dumbuya, Naikom High School Godrich, Haja Sunkai Kamara Christian Reform Church, GSS Kabbalah, Lillian Meata Simbo, Maya Masuma from Chesterton Academy, Waterloo. The two top candidates, they're all now females. So then I just the summary for Becker in terms of school performance. Schools will get 100% pass rates, 905. Schools with less than 95% or more than 95 pass rates, 481. Highest number of perfect schools ever recorded this year, subjects with pass rates 95%. And we will give now this data, so we will also get access to this. Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education also one we announce then they roll out a new curriculum for senior secondary schools across the country. The new curriculum where then they roll out, then say go replace this usual 3 streams. Right now we get commercial, arts and science. We can get 5 new streams where they range from science and technology, language and literature, social and cultural studies, economics, business and entrepreneurship, and maths and numeracy. The main aim for this introduction of the new curriculum now for make sure say can get flexibility, different choice where they go pick from. It will also focus for prepare the learner then for the job markets because the world they change, you know, go deep at the same way. Then we'll get over 70 subjects syllabus for help for developed society by addressing national priorities, and it will center on 21st century skills them. For 2 years, 2027, it will be examined from both the new and the old curriculum. 2026, 2027, new, would they use the 2 curriculum. 20 subjects from the new curriculum, 17 subjects from the old curriculum. The subject then from the new curriculum will be English, French, geography, business accounting, physics, health science, physical health education, biology, chemistry, agri, general maths, further maths, Arabic, politics and governance, principles of economics, principles of accounting, principles of commerce, business management studies, clerical office duties, history, African history, or history of Sierra Leone. From the old curriculum, the one that we will still deeper for these 2 years, CRS, Islamic studies, literature, science core, auto mechanic, building construction, electronics, engineering science, metal, food and nutrition, home management, management in living, visual arts, technical drawing, applied electricity, and woodwork. By 2028, current SS1 pupils will be candidates for WASC, and then one in the then will be exclusively examined on the new curriculum. Final news where I will on our notes. At the time when rule of law index says 68% of countries around the world, then go bien we come by rule of law. The report will come on say Salone. Now one of 8 African countries so we come by rule of law. The rest of the world they go bien. West them bill, they can go before. We get one of the biggest improvements on the rule of law index by 1.4%. We currently the 109 of 143 countries. We are the 20th of 38 countries in Africa, and we are only one of 8 countries we witness an improvement in the global rule of law index. This is the work President Bio they do. We in learned Attorney General and Minister of Justice, the Right Honorable Alpha Sise, they lead as the Attorney General and Minister of Justice. They be recognized globally, and that will continue to see much progress on a lot of big global index we won't forget. Okay, and all the news for today. We can now some very distinguished panel. I'm glad it's today for welcome on my left, the man who President Bill Don puts in charge for being the national coordinator of this fight against Kush, Brigadier Professor Fodesa, and also the boss for the National Public Health Agency, and in the lead these fights. Next to him, I get Dr. Carol Labor, who is a senior advisor and technical lead for the Mental Health Secretariat at the National Public Health Agency. We can also talk about the mental health components of this fight. On my right, I get my brother as well, Andrew Jaya Kaikai, in at the head of the National Drug Enforcement Agency, but also I announced President Bill say he announced the setting up of a special security unit for feds drugs. Mr. Andrew Jaya Kaikai, His Excellency, appoints for lead that special security unit. We can learn about what in that security units they do. On my far right, I get my colleague, the Honorable Alfred Moy Jamiru, who are the pillar lead for community engagement, and we are the Deputy Minister for Local Governments and Community Affairs. This minister, I mean, to normally wear cap, or meet up all events in cabinets, but today, you know, bringing cap. So you get for left small thing for una all. I wanna say, as I say for una, we not be for me, no play. We not for una, no more play. All right, I glad we there. Let's go straight to this conversation, Professor Fodesa. 1 year ago, President Bill announced a state of emergency. Last week, he called this big meeting. He announced a string of other additional efforts. Now you know the lead of these feds. Plenty conversation there on about how far these feds don't go, what the extent of these feds. Then say we pull accelerator, then say we pull on problem, more and more people. I want to let you use this platform and we get time on air normally, but you are the lead, so we give you, I'll say 8 minutes. Let you lay the ground for it. What's that we do? Wait not the states of the war with President Bill be declared. Give me a big picture. What's that we do? If you're able to give you some numbers, yes, what's that we do right now? Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. 1.5 years ago, April last year, His Excellency the President established the task force for drug and substance abuse. And the marching orders where His Excellency being GIWI at that time. Now, 5 pillars will be established, and then 5 pillars them will be operational. Then 5 pillars where His Excellency GIWI now treatment and care, rehabilitation and reintegration, community engagement, then law enforcement. So I want to take we all through the various pillars and the gains that we don't do over the past 1 year. On that treatment and care, at the Kisi Psychiatric Hospital alone, since the establishment of the task force to date, they don't see over 6,000 patients there. And of that 6,000 patients, they established, say, over 2,300 Kush victims in Kisi Psychiatric Hospital. Also, that team in Kisi Psychiatric Hospital, they don't train over 1,400 health workers. Then health workers them now for actually see patients them and take care of them. Then they don't develop a lot of protocols. The second pillar now, rehabilitation and reintegration. Since the establishment of the task force to date, we were able to establish 3 rehab centers. It's very expensive. Initially, we will be over ambitious. We say one health center, one rehab center now each district. But we find out for it very capital intensive. Not only money, but even the manpower. So we were able to establish 3, one at Hastings, one at Daru, and one at Gudama. And with the plans they're on our way now, maybe in the next 1 or 2 weeks, for establish the one at Bombali. Then we don't able actually rehabilitate over 4,000 4,000 former drug victims who don't push into the communities as ambassadors. Also, over 1,000 youth leaders, we don't insert them as peer educators in the community. Under the prevention and awareness pillar, where the Ministry of Information and Civic Education and they lead that pillar, they don't do quite a lot. They don't produce a lot of jingles that they don't translate into 6 local languages. This pillar also don't able to produce over 10,000 materials that we don't distribute at the community. Also, they don't engage journalists, bloggers, and CSOs them for actually bring them on board for the fight against Kush. The third pillar is community engagement pillar, where the Minister of Local Governments and the leader pillar day. What they don't do, they don't meet with paramount chiefs, they don't meet with other traditional leaders, they don't meet with religious leaders, and because in any festival defect, if we not bring the community, for the community own the response, definitely will go fail. So that particular pillar that they don't do, they engage them and they don't do that. And they don't engage over 1,000 community champions where they don't insert. And they don't reach over 50 schools and 3 public universities. All this while now for make sure say they engage the community so that everybody will be involved in what they do. On that community, the engagement, they don't train over 1,000 champions. They don't do 52 local advisory groups where they don't form them, and they don't do over 30 dialogues. Other law enforcement, they don't do several raids across the country. The most immediate one over the past 1 week, they don't do several raids now, over 90 hotspots in the western area, urban and rural, and they don't do seizures and arrest them. Where His Excellency don't actually don't present some of the additional measures on Thursday. He give other things they will for actually. One, His Excellency established a special fund. This time for make sure so we get sustained investment into the response. When our government in big commitments standing, because at the end of the day, one make sure say after this we use them will be free, because if we continue at the rate we do so, definitely the use them will get challenged. I want to let people they know, more family know say this Kush not a Sierra Leonean problem. West Africa, they consider West Africa now as the hot spot for synthetic opioids. And if you look at the data what they get, Sierra Leone they low. You get other countries than Senegal, Guinea, Liberia, and other ones. So definitely for talk for say now a Sierra Leonean problem. No, Sierra Leone are just parts of just one bit of what happened at the whole world. Even in America, drug fight not one defect. Now sustained investment, continuous threat, will get rogues them. So all pillars of the response then going to be active, sustained investment, and sustained activities. If we say now just rehabilitation what they do, they will left law enforcement. No, we will lost the fight. Because it's just like if we did mop, then a tap open upstream. If you not close that tap there, you will continue for mop for the rest of your life. Therefore, law enforcement, they're going to make sure they identify the supply chain and break the supply chain them. From all starts, His Excellency tells me say clearly for say the people that when they take the drugs, if we catch them, even though they don't commit an offense, but we will not treat them like criminals. Lord treat them as victims. I sure say that's what they do. We'll make sure they will take them out of the community and make sure they will insert them into rehab centers. The model we want to take now, we say then they go raid, immediately then come on raid, we then send the community engagement people them for go insert into that community and actually educate the people them on the harmful effects of Kush. And it don't work very well, because now Funkia community, for example, after the community engagement people then go after the raid, we see say some standoff in there between the victims them and the one when they sell the drugs. They begin stone and say that this thing I don't want kill we, that this thing I don't want kill we. So now that they happen, and one foresee then kind of thing them they happen. So on that note, I brief on the Mr. Moderator on what we done do so far.
See, Let's make a leg prof na real general. Very concise. Straight to the point. Points to the facts within which we don't do under your leadership. But I want to move to Mr. Kai Kai. I think one of the things that we professor say is not a law enforcement problem. We for close the tap. Plenty family believe say we not don't do enough on enforcement. His Excellency don't now set up the special security unit. I want you explain to family what's in these special units, what's in on a role, and then talk about on the law enforcement side in this fact. What's your waiting? I know we don't get the highlight, but what's the strategy? What's people learn for expect? What's your waiting don't happen so far? And I did do that. We'll give you 6 minutes, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. And good afternoon, all. Good afternoon, everybody. Kush. You know, this fete, now we all fete. Law enforcement, we do best all we will do. But also the communities, them everywhere we also they go. People in that community, they know community, no, they don't go. Where you go say you don't know that they sell or that they bring that poison at the community. But we'll come back to that. As Professor don't say, since the 4th of April 2024, where President established this task force, a lot has been done under Professor in leadership. Now let's talk about law enforcement. Last week, Thursday, President came up, say for set up a special security unit. That special security unit, we established them on Saturday. What did they mean? We already don't get a law enforcement pillar within the task force, that's what we call them. And we get men and station at OSD headquarters from last year up to now. Police, military, NDLA, people from ONS, people from CISA, the Central Intelligence Agency again at this country, will all be done today. But with the formation now of the special security unit, we don't add that number there, we don't up that number there. Because we find out, say, just like we Professor talk, no matter how many rehabilitation we do, if we not cut the supply chain, na bonfi we could do. And we na the special security unit, with particular task, with primary task, now for cut the supply chain. Let's just give this example. In 2024, they will sell Kush for 5 million for rap. Then when we intensify the rates there at that time, right now as I talk, you don't go get Kush for even 10 million or 15 million. Now you go get them for 20 million, 25 million. That are the demand and supply aspect of it. Because as they intensify the rate, now so that they hide and now so they there. Now, from Saturday, inside Freetown alone, we get a standing force of over 200. I get over 95 military personnel, over 86 police personnel, NDLA staff them, over 25 of them one day. Then we get CISA, we get ONS, who don't effectively begin go now all the communities them. From the 25th of October alone to yesterday when at the 3rd of November. We don't go now over 90 communities there. The communities there will don't go because we separate ourselves into 3 teams them. You get East, you get Central, you get West. For East, for example, we don't go to the magazine community, Mountain Court, Junction, and WAF. Frobe community and WAF. We don't go Kanike, Kisi Bome, Texaco, O Road. We don't go Pamola Field, Shell New Road Junction, Olwaf Junction, Peacock Farm, Rukupa, Oti Junction, Haja Fatmata, Congo Wata, Abu Kombo, Calabar Town, Mabore, Ojuku, Hastings, Jue. All that side and we don't go there through community sensitization, but more also rates. But I can't give the figure of that. I just want to highlight the communities that we don't go to. And one of the big things that are very, very important to we, everybody in this country, any community where you go, they want this fete for them. The community that they welcome with open hands. Kumbra them, papa them, community leaders, they all they cry. They want this fete done. Even to the victims them, where they on Kush. In fact, some area they go by the time they commodity, they run after the motuka because they want to go for treatment, they want to go for rehabilitation. So there is a huge appetite and determination for make sure say we win this war. The central communities they all don't go into so far. Central Business District, of course, Krube, Bome Kintom, Congo Cross Bridge, Congo Town Bridge, all the area where they call so. Now area the way the Kush victim them, they see them. So they go meet them at their community there. Congo Town Bridge, Black Street, Stadium Gate. Now another area that the Brookfields, Ascension Town, Kuton Road, we don't go Sopit, then a lower Ecowa Street, Falcon Bridge, Bus Station, Fireborn Wharf, Susan's Bay, all the area they need. Now the western communities, of course. Now, Lumley Market, Aberdeen Road, Lumley Beach, Crabtown, Lumley, Tengbe Town, Aberdeen Moscow, Oloshorona, Moriton, Wilberforce, Ferry Road, all inside we don't go. Baghdad, na the Tengbe Town area under that Congo Cross Bridge area. Now they call Baghdad, now they Sudan. We don't go all inside in the West Rural, we don't go Levuma Beach, Funkia, you the Pakri. But we don't make enormous improvement at the area. The Mechkem, I don't care, Miltimagai Junction. All the area there now. Since that time to now, inside the last 1 week alone, the arrest they will make, or Friday alone, this past Friday, we make 19 arrests, 663 wraps of ash, another drug where they call ash. Instead they dip on a heavy one. But I come to this one. Okay. So from November 25th to yesterday, October 25th to yesterday, when on November 3rd. So far, we don't do 46 arrests. That are just within East, West, Central, Freetown. 28 men, 18 women. Seizures so far, 3,073 wraps of Kush, 63 wraps of ash. Then Tramadol again on the rise. In 2024, we'll just begin. The Tramadol will be there out, Mr. Minister. Now be the 220 milligrams. Me not lawyer, me not a doctor, but I know say in the hospitals there, even for pain, they can prescribe around, I think, 50 milligram to 100 milligram. So you get what they call recreational tramadol. That they on the increase. Recreational, they kind of different flavor. You get strawberry flavor. You get vanilla flavor. Well, that one then they, remember I said the dosage you then can give around 100 milligram maximum. Well, the recreational tramadol, they be there 220. Now they get 225 milligrams. 225. They get 225 milligrams. They get. They don't get up to 250 milligrams. They get 300 milligrams don't come out. 400 milligrams don't come out. 500 milligrams don't come out. About 3 weeks ago, the law enforcement, we all with ONS, the police, the CDS, we go hold meeting at Jedem and at the Liberia border. We been go there particularly because of the constant issues that we get between we and Liberia. The passage of drugs in that area today. That Friday they were there. Behold, that next day, they had a full warehouse of over 300 to 500 milligrams of tramadol. They be the way to but we will not allow them. The next day, we hold our house there. As I talk, then in a Toku custody. Then as we pass last week, we go to other areas there because we own job, we they go engage the victims then. But primary role, now for go after the one where they import, the one where they manufacture, and the one there where they peddle and the communities then. The time don't know.
I don't extend your 2 cents while you talk because you updates very important.
Where you go come back.
So I can give you another 2 minutes. Let you wrap up.
Okay.
So just so you go down. Yes.
We they talk to the communities then, because every community where you go, no community not the way they go. Where the one they wait in that community, they don't know whether they sell and whether they bring and come in. So we appeal to the communities then. For our safety and security, there's a hotline number when at 117. We get a situation room at the task force. Just call that number there. And they give you the coordinates and everything. Just report. In order for even take your name, they go send that there to the special security unit and we can make raid in that area there. Thank you, Mr. Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Andruja Kaikai. I think say if finally fumble and they get an update here. Because now when I don't hear the concrete steps that we government they take, the efforts we President Builder instructs, and the number of communities that they don't conduct raids, they don't go. As you say, when I go na my community na Kaneke, we clean. We not get no problem na Kaneke. I don't know what we go today. But still we they collaborate. We na Kaneke we they cooperate fully. Any bad person we call people and other community culture to we refer we report to una. So I for tell you thank you for this important work you do. Now come to the Minister for Deputy Minister for Local Governments. Mr. Minister, you know the pillar lead for the community engagement bits. In fact, Mr. Minister, you get a lot of experience on this community engagement, multiple public health issues, and I can say you go on this issue. Give family a sense of waiting required and waiting you pillar don't they do now. Just add to it and don't talk just now. For really let we fet this fet at the community level. Because I come Mr. Kaikai say nothing happen in our community we will not know. Somebody must know inside that community. So how would they build trust in a community? Waiting at the means and with people in our community when they organize them, arrange them, how they can report to UNA for make sure so we escalate this situation. You say get 6 minutes, sir.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. One of the things that we are going to say up front, that we as the community engagement pillar want to really emphasize now today, not that the engagement for be consistent in almost on daily basis. But whereas that should be the case, we also got for no say community engagement, there are cost implications to it. But one of the things that we are really happy about today, we are kind of this press conference, not just the array of we brother and sisters them, we done the report on this thing here. I think community engagement, now everybody in business. Because whereas we now the mouthpiece where they come and give the information now the community them, now they put the messages together and send out to the community them. We need mouthpieces them, like una where they push the information into the community. So I want to say when His Excellency be announced the Kush business, the Kush outbreak, and the very zombie-like pictures that will be getting on social media, it became a concern. But in a quiet moment, as can say, Kush trick we. How Kush trick we? Because what they see that zombie-like people there, on social media, etc., it will make we all become very, very concerned. And at that moment, then they will be pushed from what we try for reach to that brother and sister them and bring them out and try for help them. So waiting at the trick, we Kush trick we, that will brother and sisters them then go underground. So at the end of the day, you will find out, say, except you go in a very specific places them, they almost don't become a shadow. But one thing I want to say, and especially with a fight like this, I don't be involved in the coronavirus mpox. We don't involve in that fight. One of the things that we Ministry of Local Government and Community Affairs, as we know, we deal with paramount chiefs them, we deal with local councils them. So we bring with paramount chiefs them and with local councils them on board. So at the outset of this outbreak, we've been there for lunch, na Kenema, na Bay, and na McKinney. And we bring along, we chiefs them, and we engage with them, and we appeal to them for what they help lead the fight. Also, my experience don't tell me, I'll not be there during the Ebola outbreak, but we struggle with Ebola at the time. But when the paramount chiefs then come in and lead the fight against Ebola, we end up for win that fight. We got the similar example with Corona and Mpox. Therefore, it be very, very necessary for me we bring in the paramount chiefs them. So when we don't launch, we begin to engage communities them. And Ministry of Local Government, we get so many activities that we can involve in. And we partner with so many other ministries them. So every and any time we will get engagement, including as recent as where they do induction of paramount chief last Thursday, Nakambia, we talk about Kush. So basically, what are they saying now in this? The Kush fight is incumbent on all of we for what we fight and together. Why is it necessary for what we fight and together? Because at the end of the day, the Honorable Minister of Information can publicly and tell we in your challenge with Kush. So that they tell you, say, Kush not they look so class, oh, poor man, or rich man, or whichever class you they, Kush can affect you. And really, as we go around this country, one of the side and way I've really been feeling now we're gonna boom or go lunch. So we bring some of the Kush victims then out. And it be so sad when you see young man there, whether on the second year, third year, fourth year, now university, Kush don't knock them down. You they see people that when I graduate them, we all don't down college, Kush they knock them down. So at the end of the day, you begin to tell yourself, say, this really in a very, very serious situation. So we in the community pillar, over the last few weeks, we don't do engagements na Waterloo, na Hamilton, na Calabar Town, na Murray Town. And when somebody will quickly say, oh, but when I future no more, the focus, we outline. Well, I want to tell when I say the structure as we put, as His Excellency be advised, the district councils in the district, now then the lead at the district level, and we do collaborate from what we find out, say, then they do waiting there for do, and website challenges then they bring out to we boss, Professor Fodesa, and I just want to conclude, in this phase, for say, thank you to una all for waiting when they do. I think it will fit for more to recognize the contributions that we they make to this community push here for more we end this Kush problem in this country. And me are optimistic and very hopeful that this is the fight we will win. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Deputy Minister and the Pillar Lead for community engagement. I think you don't talk from your hearts and you don't talk from experience. Now, we want to come over to Dr. Carol Labor, who we all know him as the mental health person. Part of the challenge with this FETs twofold. One, now waiting they lead people into drugs. When me go na radio, they explain bodies, I don't say, if you not address the underlying conditions, push is just opportunistic. If people not take Kush, they will take tramadol. If you don't take tramadol, they will take Pampas water. If you don't take Pampas water, then go sniff paints, nail polish. Because if somebody they look for a high, it will sicken some kind of way. So that are one part in terms of addressing the drivers. The second part, now this idea of then they go rehabilitation, and I'm glad we get Mr. Ansu Kone there. I go can get the mic in a minute. But when they come out, how will they deal with it? Because I see some people then go, then graduate, we celebrate them, then come out. But if we not deal with the rest of the issue, then they go right back, in fact, and the relapse can be worse. So help me understand that part today from the mental health perspective and waiting you and PHA they do for address the mental health dimension of these 6 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Good afternoon, everyone. So I'll just go back to April of 2022 when I was appointed by His Excellency the President to lead on increasing awareness, availability, and accessibility. Oh, wait, so na Creole? Because all man, they look at me like, wait, see? Okay. Okay. I apologize. And I go bear with me, eh? Okay. I go back to April 2022, where His Excellency appoints me for increased awareness, accessibility, and availability of mental health services in Salon. So from the term where they appoint we established the Presidential Task Force on Mental Health, and that's inclusive of neurological disease and also substance use, because substance use addiction is a disease of the brain. And I want to let all my understand today, where the minister, they talk about possible go inside rehabilitation center and come back, then they relapse. It has to do with the disease of the brain. So we done the work. April 2023, we launched the Presidential Task Force on Mental Health with His Excellency the Vice President. And we drafted an awareness campaign then, April 2023. So slowly we did work on raising awareness. Then we were able to get funding from Global Fund, where we designed a curriculum where we don't train 1,090 people then to recognize the signs and symptoms of mental health, neurological conditions, and also substance use. Because just like the minister is saying, it's not all just for going inside rehabilitation. We need to support the continuum of care, and Adande we they do. You get all the master sabi people then the people that where they go na Kisios rehabilitation centers, Kisi psychiatric home hospital. But then what we they do is to really support the community members, the CSOs, civil society organizations. Like I said, we don't train 1,090 people, and that's inclusive of Kush ambassadors. Then are the people that we don't go inside and come out using a waiting they call peer-to-peer model. Because if me go, then go say, hey, what's in mommy they talk. But if we teach you as peers to peers for able to understand the dangers of addiction. Anytime I can talk about mental health, even with addiction, I can always care we go back to we traumatic history in our salon. Where channel they say we get for under and handle the root cause, address the root causes. One of the root causes where they unbug we as a society now is we historical trauma. Most times when we talk about trauma in a salon, we can always begin with the war. Now people they had the war done years ago, but trauma predates the war in a salon. After the war, you had what I call childhood interrupted. The individuals now, young people then, were addicted to drugs and other substances because not so just Kush, tramadol day, cocaine day, pampas water, an addicted brain Addiction is a brain disease. It go fend what he wants. Because then they look for that high, that dopamine, that high way they experience the first time. And so when you talk about the drivers of addiction, person will say, oh, na poverty, oh, na food insecurity. But all my way people not there on drugs, not so. All my way not get job, not they on drugs. So where you come to addiction and taking a whole of society approach, we get to address all these issues, all the social determinants of mental health, where they impact we as a society. What do we see now? Na salon, we're seeing the residual effects of the war, the traumatic effects of the war. You can get picking that way born before, during, and after the war, eh? And so you will take the age 0 to 10. If you're born between 0 and 10, what will happen? The normal stages of your development don't interrupt the stages of your brain development and also physical development as well. Picking that we're born during the war. Where woman get belly? There's something that they call epigenetics. Epigenetics to they transfer in traumatic experience to in picking yet unborn. So you get people that were born during the war exposed to trauma, where we understand say trauma they change the brain, eh? Then so even picking and born after the war, still the normal stages of development. And the last side of your brain where they develop now these front parts where they call you prefrontal cortex, which is where all your decision making. Where person will say, la not do that, they bad for me. But if you have a traumatized brain, you have a traumatized brain that's now been exposed to the social determinants that now have what they call maladaptive behaviors. Then they do things that were not good for them for try for cope. So all down there, now we get for address, we address through the secretariat, through the task force with social welfare is leading the rehabilitation side. Like I mentioned, we don't train people then. We can begin now for train other community members. We go train on ourselves for recognize the signs and symptoms. There you go able app and refer and link to services. Because again, we have to get for address the root causes of this issue. When we address the root cause, then now you will able to see the community then and say, this person not so be they behave. Let we intervene. We therefore look for prevention and early intervention. Because now we're not going to sit down, we wait say what I don't pass guy for a person. There's something called when somebody gets genetically predisposed to addiction. That means that you get, so tell you mama, you papa, we has an addictive gene. Now you you don't born. You take Kush 110, you're addicted because your brain go to look for that high there. I will stop there.
Thank you very much, Dr. Carol. This is a very important part of the conversation. We will continue. And one thing where I go add now that make President like our professor say, where he declared this fact, he say we picking them, we brother and sister them, we not criminalize them. The man who team up under that bridge, my brother then a kanike, who na go read where they take the Kush. Not to criminals. They are victims. The people who need for go after, for lock in a cell, are the one the way they import, the one the way they cook. But the studies where me don't see say the claim, they now become much more sophisticated than the wholesale preparers, and then the one the way they wholesale distribute. So they want the way they do too now for let them find the link for help them get in a rehabilitation center, but they are not criminals in themselves. We not go hold every young man and young woman at this country because they take one drug. They want and the most often they are victims of some mental health challenges, of different collective issues who all get. President Bill call on fathers, for example, for let them step up. See, because most homes say papa no dey, and then say they can be. I want to give the microphone to Mr. Kone. We come up from the Ministry of Social Welfare. He can be under, yes. Because Mr. Kone, you minister, I'm a colleague, Honorable Melrose Kamensi. Now one of the most passionate people in this faith. From day one, 9 champion for the establishment of rehabilitation centers Now will all go for open, a member with you, some of the first ones them, and when I don't continue for really push. So when they lead this pillar, give me a quick updates. Log you 4 minutes. Also we day when it comes to the rehabilitation. We don't hear it small, but give me a little bit more on the big numbers. What are the demand? What's in the supply we will be for address right now? And what are the pipeline in terms of whether they go through what's in the expect inside the regulation of other centers them and graduation rates? Quickly.
Well, thank you very much. Just like I've been saying, rehabilitation begin in February 2024, where the Ministry of Social Welfare established. Of course, from that same day to now, this year, we don't rehabilitate 400. We Prof don't talk about, and about 65% of the one a day. We also support them for being integrated in our society. Some don't go back college, some don't go back university, some don't go back to school, some don't into technical education. But we don't stop at some point. But with the momentum, we don't build back. I'm very proud for telling us say the rehab they don't open again. 2 weeks ago, me and the minister we go Daru. We don't admit 40 Kush victims. They need Daru right now. Then last week, when we colleagues in the task force, Hastings we don't admit 405 days. So now that current number there we get right now, we're going in a rehab until February, until December. We discharge them and hopefully we try to admit another batch. We also get Gunama, who will be not open. Hopefully, just like our prof said, in the next few days, we'll try to admit at least 50 days. Because the essence of rehabilitation, now a confined place, we say where drug victims day is very safe. We get professionals that we work with. We get social workers them. We provide psychosocial services. We get drug addiction workers. We work with them. We even get security. Now make a finance say now security base. We open a center there because any outside drug addicts and they, from my experience, the one day when our dealers, then they follow them, and even some of the drug addicts them now also sellers. So the security they help a lot for keep them confined, and that confinement it also keep them off drugs. So they can normally do it for like 7 to 8 weeks. But that first 2 weeks, it can be very challenging. Now that we feed them 3 times a day. We feed them lunch, breakfast, and dinner. Because for them to recover, their nutrition is a very important aspect. And when our members say all this money, now government's money, now government fund this program here, so 100%. So now the rehab center will help them for change their mindset because don't find out say drug addiction, now it be a behavioral issue. Over the age of most of the ones that count to your attention, from teenagers to the early 20s or late 20s. Now young people them, when they drop out of university, they don't want a lifestyle. So in a rehab center, where they get various group therapies, therapeutic interventions for ensure say you understand the dangers of the drug before you accommodate. And before you accommodate, we ensure say we get a career pathway for you. So when they go back to school and make the rehab pillar. We work with the Ministry of Youth, we work with the Ministry of Education and Technical Education, we work with the Ministry of Basic Education for ensuring you really go back school, you go back school. Of course, we don't get a lot of success stories. And when we follow with His Excellency visiting Hastings, when I see how he engaged with the one that we don't go through rehabilitation, we do not call them ambassadors of positive change. Then one day, when I listen to their testimonies. So this rehab center, it is for change their lives. It is for change people and behavior, young people and them behavior. Now that make after rehabilitation, recovery, and reintegration. Now that make we work with Dr. Carol Labor and other partners then for ensure say we support them for being resilient and in communities for reduce the risk of relapse. Because relapse is part of addiction. Some people then for the rest of their life, they relapse. Up and down. So we'll support them for face stigmatization in the communities. We'll also help them for many families that accept them. Because somebody when a drug addict, they always get problems in families and in communities. So part of the reintegration aspect, we'll try to see how they support the families and try to create that coexistence between them. So we are doing a lot, but I just want to stop there because Honorable Minister Toboku. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kone. I want to tell all thank you. I think for this really comprehensive updates, Fambule all the efforts that we governments don't make, enough. Me go be the first person for put up my hand and talk say we can do better. We will do better. We're not gonna for can defend, say, oh, we don't do all things right. No. All man I agree with me, say, the reason why President Bio call we all back, say, Usa will be no go bien, or need for redouble with efforts. But just as we can do better, you can do better. Everybody in our home can do better. Communities, we can all do better. Because drug, I tell somebody, say, America declared a war on drugs in the 80s. Today, they have a fentanyl crisis. In the 80s, they get more money pass way. They get more treatment center at every corner. Then they spend all kind of money. They get soldier man. They get the most sophisticated drug law enforcement agency on the face of the earth. They still have a drug problem today. You know, mean say we not go fight with you. We fight with you, but sometimes there's some people want to be unfair in their criticism. Like say we can just make so the problem go away. No, you cannot. Doctor established say we have mental health problems here. We get long-term other challenges, poverty day. We get opportunistic challenges. We also then at the coast. That are part of the challenges we get. Because we can't get the rights in the Atlantic. So opportunistic as well for people providers. We still there in the market. Where if you want for choose that dongle live now work for you, or if this new system where they don't make, they don't give you different option, higher speed, you can opt for the one day. Not to government, they set the price. We not get no ceiling, we not get no floor and ceiling price when it comes to internet service providers. In fact, the last time government seek for introduce a ceiling price on that, they will take the government go ECOWAS courts. It will be lancing Salona, only one of 2 countries in the entire continent will be seek for do that. We think government they do now for regulate particularly mobile cost of calls, cost of mobile-based data. Then they not be affected. If any change get for happen for that, and if for submit specially, we need to engage the public, which we have done before, which we will continue to do. But if you they buy dongle, you they buy particular package, these are promotional packages, then can change the price, then can change the option. In that particular system, they waiting government in interest is this now still a free market country. Because if government can decide now, so they tell all man say now you price this no more, you forgo it. Now owner back we can't talk say government don't over-regulate, we don't kill competition. We get plenty options. You the citizen, if this one not work for you, you get other dongle option. Government in commitment and for provide you that choice there. Also, una can engage the mobile phone companies directly. Una na customers. Then they work for una. If there is an issue, una can engage them directly, then get different platforms there. So on this one, I see some people that they tag we for this. I've been just saying, I take this opportunity as well. Like clarify. Now you not tell your granny or the mamina who say they don't use mobile phone data. Mobile phone data no go up. Now the dongle data, huh? No, no, sabi them. They're not the government. Being a government, not seen as also government in here. Please. All right, let's come back to Kush now. Let's see the hands up for questions. All right. I think I need to start on this side today. 1, 2, 3, 4. All exhausted on this side. You get 5. Okay. And then we'll go by logo. Keep it short. Name, institution, and the question. We'll go take notes. We'll take all 5 together. Go. All right, let's go quick, Mahmoud.
Okay. My name is Mahmoud Sila from the Nature newspaper. My question goes to either of the high table, starting from Mr. Jai Kakai, Professor. Now, the question here is that we are seeing in recent past the government effort in fighting against Kush is robust. Citizens are appreciative of it, but the concern here is that how are you going to sustain this effort going forward? The number of arrests of the drug lords, how are you going to sustain it? Because in Sierra Leone, we are good at sustaining bad things, but the good things, we cannot sustain it.
All right, number 2.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. My name is Amos Marshall Tagawali, aka the microphone vandalist. Mr. Minister, I will be very simple today what I ask question. May not look like I do some grammatical bombardment. But I want for to answer you that the intake of substance in the country, number one, is very outrageous, is very atrocious, is very heinous, and is very disastrous. And I want to borrow the statement from you a few minutes from now. You say we will not criminalize the perpetrators, the people who take Kush. Number one, when you go find out say then Kush in the smoker na public places. Now, then the smoker na public now, they're not afraid. And we get an act where ban public smoking. So if somebody smoke na public, na a criminal act, is that person not a criminal? Number two, the intake of Kush, they lead people for cause crime there, like larceny, house breaking, and then crime then now with criminal law books. Are these people not criminals? So I want to ask, una not think say it necessary for criminalize them people even with the smoker? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Number 3. Bien.
Mina Bobodan Kama, the right for New Citizen newspaper. A question I go direct to Mr. Kai Kai, as Nina the lead for the security unit and the crackdown of drug. About a year ago, we get a seizure international airport. We are in over 25 cartons of 225 milligram tramadol, then be sesam. But up till now, we not able to know whether them be sent or whether supposed to be received. Because according to Toku, they say at the time where they intercept the drug, where they try for call the individual for supposed for receiver, a day on the way to Gambia. They try for flee from the country. And in the fight against Kush and other harmful substances, we go for the set a bigger precedent for get a lasting solution to them. And Madam Carol, may question go be the Lunacy Act of 1902 is over a century, right? I want to know whose effort we don't make for repealer. Get increased number of women mentally challenged. So what we don't do for repeal the Lunacy Act?
All right, thank you. Mohammed Suleiman Jalo, Masi TV. My question they go to the Minister of Education. You said in audio, but I will ask this question for the change of this new curriculum. I get an information say the schools them, the head of schools them say now the old curriculum that they go, the old curriculum that they go with. So I'm surprised why you say back say the new curriculum they come down at the 5 stream. So what thing the ministry don't do for reach out to the head of schools them. And also WAEC, because WAEC, they say they not get, they not get questions or they not get material for their new curriculum. Them. So which one I don't do in terms of that. And also the drug agency enforcement tax. We come for no say now, school picking and they take drug and they on the rampage. So what's now some of the approaches them, or what's now some of the things they want I don't put in place for make sure say then students them or then school picking them within our school get education on that, because we also get to know say some of then teachers them as well can sell drug in our school as information when they allege because that's we can hear. So what's now some of the strategy we don't put in place for at all.
Thank you.
Justice Ishek Mohamed Tijan, Sierra Fox Media. So, Mr. Kaikai, many a time we don't see outside security apparatus them can go for raid, now then communities them done after we then can don't take or don't lay hands on the drug them. Once what we understand that then the drug then they not even reach man they don't sheba amongst them. You understand? So it leads me now for that acts because like I've done witness 1-2 times we say where una can get them drug and they una can go burn them or destroy them. But again, we understand so not to all like can destroy. So my question I now is who said them drug then they can go? Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. It's not the first rounds. So I can now to the panel for respond. let's just get the education question out of the way so we come to drugs. As I say in the news updates, I just want to let you understand the education system again as alone. Government of Salona they set education policy now. No school, no they set their own. When government say na so they go, na so they go. Government they just do that they work with different stakeholders, including WAEC and all. Now make you see now a phased rollout. First, we start with 2 curriculum, the old and the new, for a period of 2 years. The one over the SS1 now for the new curriculum, no one is supposed to teach them. Because by the time then they reach SS3, exclusively we go down transition to the old curriculum. The one over the SS2, SS3 right now, some schools they can just stick to the old one or they can mix based on, because they, you see, we outline the number of subjects that will still be conducted in the old curriculum. Then call subject they want name and name them all for you just now. We will put this out again and people don't understand this. Now part of, because this is an issue, we don't get a lot of complaints, a lot of worries from students there across the country. But I want to assure family and say, government don't think about this thoroughly. Now make them do it in a phased approach. We not just grab no more new curriculum overnight. We do a combination, we allow a period of time for pass by, and then we transition fully. But the role, not because we just want change, but because we want to begin to let the lamb go the help the country, with the help from move the country go before. Yeah? Thank you very much. I'll start with you, Professor Fodesa. You get a few questions. I know that between you and Mr. Kaikai, the question and Leon. One, maybe you talk about the sustainability of the feds, how they address this issue of the sustainability. Then the second question focus mostly around criminality. I think he addressed it to me, but I will let you go first. I get my own perspective on that. And then I think that the one that we specifically for you, because I want to come to Mr. Kaikai on the other 2 questions where they ask. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. The sustainability aspect of all what we do now. If you look at the approach where the government take, it's in a whole of government model. Will not develop any new structures, but the same government structures them now they use. In fact, government gets the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, which are the body where nine young work done day, but because of the increase, they decide for set the task force, and the task force they work very closely with the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. So in anything what they do as a task force, that particular organ, that particular organization, that particular body, they will continue with whatever we do now. For criminalize the one that they take the drug, yes, indeed, they are the laws them of this country for say if they catch you with prohibited substance, nah, an offense. But it just be say this government very, Kumbra government, and we see say them people them where they do this here, not to really some of them fall, some of them are because of peer group pressure, some of that because of other things them. So we come middle way. You know me say if we meet and they smoke, we'll just let them still continue what they do. No. Responsibility that will make sure say they change. But if they don't give you one option, 1 chance, 2 chances, 3 chances, still continue for the do, what they do. I think in any reasonable outfit, I should say the law will take in course. Then for drugs in schools,
teachers and all that, yeah.
Yes, I think it's a problem. I've been in a radio this morning, SLBC, with somebody will do one organization, do one survey. They found out for say picking as young as 9 years, 10, 11, 12, where that they take drugs. So it's a problem in school. Some of the teachers that they sell the drugs at school. Some of the marketers they can sell at the school. That they use that as a conduit for actually carry the drugs in school. So we're going to continue. We're on this plan. So we'll continue with school engagement. Make sure, say, we involve the parents, teachers association, the student clubs. So we're not beginning from student groups them, people clubs them, at the schools them and tell them the harmful effect of drugs. The government they take harsh measures. The schools they take harsh measures. They don't dismiss teachers them where they don't find out for say now then they bring drugs at the school for actually sell to the picking them. So I think there are a lot of measures that have been put in place.
Thank you, sir. Welcome to Mr. Kaikai quickly. You have a few questions, but I know you will take notes. Yes.
Yes. Number one from Mr. Mahmoud Sila on sustainability. I've been in a meeting at State House. And one of the things that we me are glad for what President do on last Thursday. Now by giving directives to the Minister of Finance that for set aside 1 million every week for this fight. Now here is why that is important. The one the way they sell drugs or where they bring this poison at the country or within the community, then get money, then powerful, but it evolves. They are also very brilliant. Just like we Honorable Minister told you now. The DEA in America, the Law Enforcement Agency in America, their yearly budget is over $163 billion. That is just a yearly budget. They don't declare war in the 80s. Up to now, they defeat. So, we need for sustain this fight. The special security unit where the president on set, now price of both military, the police, NDLA, and everybody. And I go tell when I say, I have a fighting force. We're ready for fight this fight. Even me where they head them, and the military commanders, the police commanders there, we are determined to fight. As long as we get the resources, they're not tired, we know they tired. Because one of the things that if you not sustain what to the pass right now, then they go hang in a corner first. When the system will slow down, they pick up back. This trip will not give them a chance. Would they walk Sunday, would they walk net, would they walk early morning? When I hear my voice now, how my voice they make, because for the past 2 weeks, over 1 week now, I don't need that treat, I don't need all over the country. Now, somebody talk, I think that Amos, they talk about the victims then. The victims then where they use Kush. President say you cannot criminalize them or call them criminals. But also there is also another side to that. Kush, we don't find out say, now one of the most addictive drugs where they out there now. And here is why. We get a researcher that we can GI talk. They come out from England. They can't find out, say, the one of the components that were inside Kush, that they call a nitazine. And nitazine, ladies and gentlemen, they developed at the laboratory, the US, America, in the 1950s. It not ever be on the market for sale. But when they find out, say, when they do the research now, find that component inside Kush. See, more potent than cocaine. It's more potent than fentanyl where they destroy America as they talk. So it is inside Kush. So now society where you go, the pikin and go tell you, say, the thing get devil. Or the thing get juju on the world. And the addictive nature of them. So the pikin where they use and we get for go after them with compassion. Now we pikin them. Now brother, now sister them. But the people that want for really go after and where would they go after? The one where they sell, the one where they import. And even the seizures they will not do now, Wataki, now Lunge Airport, to find out, say, that they come on England, that they come on Netherlands, that they come on China. So most of the components then for Kush, not to add the manufacturer. What did they cause this so food then now the chemicals the way that they add. Then also, any drug will catch, whether na airport, whether na Wataki, will they destroy them? As you say, justice, you don't do it several times, so they destroy them. We not allow them. And even yesterday, I warned the special security unit, before we closed business yesterday, that anybody where they go out, where you take money in a person hand, or where you take exhibit, you hide them, you don't lose your job, because then are security people there. Then they lost their job, then they go jail. Then also the schools drugs in school. I really want to touch on that quickly. Where will they go school? When I remember I say all the school them, they get makituma, then also they all they say bread and abobo. Most of we now with the Bible ready abobo. The intelligence we don't get, Mr. Minister, is this. That some of them schools say that the very makituma them, or the market people them, where they sell ginger beer, where they sell fry, where they sell this, then they get drugs under when they enter and inside the school them. Then one day they will go after them. For example, in Waterloo on Sunday, we catch one young pikin, beautiful girl, 14 years old, with 60 wraps of Kush. And how we manage it based on the intelligence of is that now somebody in a sell for. Now the rest where they sell, that cookery, now under there, now they hide this Kush. So by the time they reach there, the mama run away. But bring the pikin come. But because now a minor, we don't hand over to another caretaker while the investigation continues and while the hunt for the mama continue.
Yes. So back to the points now that at the end of the day, we all need for joint defense. And I think the points on criminality, that 9-year-old, that 14-year-old person, not a criminal, a victim. Now somebody else a user. So, but it not mean say if you commit crime, we need to treat you as a criminal. We don't say now because you be on Kush, we commit the crime. We just say just because you take Kush, we not the all you say you're not criminal because you don't take Kush. We instinct now for try for rehabilitate you, for return you to society. But if you commit crime, the law, we don't suspend the law. All crime nas alone they remain crime. Second and final set of questions on this side. And then boku small. So look, keep on sharp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. On a do quick. Yes. Are you the council? Short. Go. Need for goal. 340. Would it done? Go ahead.
Aminata Kamara, Sleek Television. Mr. Kakai, this is not for you. So we don't see police officers or military personnel or law enforcement officers them also that they catch them with these Kush or other drugs. So how people them or how young people them will take una seriously say indeed the fight against Kush now something where una put as a priority.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. My name is Alaji Abuich Bigil from Civil Society Movement. I want to tell you plenty thank you for this fight through the fight through. But I want to give you information. Then communities then where they play this football here so. Some of we who are with them, they disturb we. Because the one that where they sell the water, this to take water, where then they sell them, where then they come for go watch the game. Then they make the answer, the thing they at the hand plus the water, now in there they sell to the people. Then they go to the field, and then a mountain court. Just last week, 2 incidents happened here and there, where people then take machetes. They say that they chop people them. So we call the police. The time when the police send the can, they don't disappear. So Mr. Kai, do you I wonder when I real Kanike, I wonder when I real
It's one me.
then
It's one
I wonder when I go. Now the bearing ground, now Ross Road. Inside that bearing ground there, if you go inside that bearing ground there, you go see a lot of makeshift.
All right, it's okay. It's 7 on done. It's 7 on done.
Yes. So
Yes.
thank you. Thank you very
Don't
much.
offend Kaneki. You get problem. Thank you, sir. Yes.
Good afternoon. My name is Sylvia and Sylvia Sise. And as for the ways they how then they destroy the drugs there, so I don't come across a video wherein they burn them in there so like openly, and I think say then they cause pollution, not a safe way for destroy them. They go able forget like incineration, like more controlled ways for destroy them. And as for the new curriculum implementation, we don't hear this for a couple of years now, but waiting at the systems that we don't day in place for ensure say teachers them, schools then get teachers that were equipped for able for execute the implementations there. So because this thing not go on for years, but we know they see schools then they come on board like how they're supposed for they on board.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Good afternoon. Once more, let me say congratulations to Minister Siba.
Thank you.
For immense achievements as Best Minister of Information of West Africa.
Thank you.
Kudos to you, comrade. And Mr. Jack Akai, you remember 1 year ago in the month of March, and mortuary attendant in Berry 23 alleged body in Kush. And also, inside the month of April, the president declared state of emergency. And also, presently, 2035, Mr. Kakai, City Council allegedly bury Kush people, went up to 220. And last year, 2024, they summoned in a parliament. And he talked at the committee room and say, even bicycle you not get at your office for fight against drug. And also, they pull your money in your pocket for pay electricity. So my question is, how capacitated are you in this fight against Kush?
Thank you. I think that this man meaning next. Yeah.
Yes, my name is Nasaidu Dubuya. I write for Exclusive. Mr. Deputy Minister of Local Governments. Yes, we see who now go key staff them to Burma chiefs. People and they accuse medals. They accuse say the medals who they give the paramount chiefs them are substandard. How true is it? I mean, Professor Fodi, you just give me beautiful figures of the one they own and don't rehabilitate, but you tell me how much people they don't die. You go able to give me small number of people that we don't die. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Mohammed Kamara, the Watch, and of course, Humanity. Dr. Label, we aren't going to let you go without asking one question. We aren't going to let you go without asking one question. Come on. Now, you don't hear what the people don't talk. What are the medical recommendations or guide for the prevention of syndrome where people say if they make the drug addicts here, they take the breakfast, lunch, and everything. What are the recommended guide for eliminate or reduce syndrome? Local government deputy, sir. You don't get a speech. Pretoria will get 16 tribal headmen. Each tribal headman gets about 500 subsection chiefs. Pretoria will get the base of the Interreligious Council. But the United Council of Imams get about 69,000 imams, them, of which, of course, more than 20 to 25,000 imams, and then at Pretoria. You don't talk, but you don't mention the inclusion. What if you think now, say, if you include them people we have, including the Christians, then it will be an everyday song to sing in the homes and everywhere you go. Because in the communities over at the good city, we will take time back before we go there, but these people are permanently there. And thank you, sir. What is your reaction? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yes. The legend, don't talk down. When I for all just say don't talk for now, answer. Oh, now, I'm not if, yeah, go ahead.
All right. Mohammed Usman Bandura, Capital Times newspaper. Professor Fode, you say Kush facts and Kush problem last saloon. Not to saloon problem. Say so. What to so? You say not to saloon problem. I stand to be corrected, sir. Okay, now, with the top of saloon, sir. Now, how we did? We are Sierra Leoneans. If we go international, we start here for sir. If you go to the street, sir, you have to the point for cooking there. We don't lose potential youth man there over this Kush. Are they a community where are they directly contact with them, get contact with them? Me na from Bobo. Yeah. So Kush na salon problem. And I want to tell you, say the government put complacency over this fete. The last big fete don't big pass, the one big pass the government. Mr. Kaikai. Before now, there was a controversy of luxury gifts given to you. And also, video be the house where link you directly the party with Joss. Where accuse you say you get direct connection with this drug lord. I want to know if Sierra Leoneans them go trust you for fet this fet, where you get direct connection with this as they accuse you.
All right,
That's
thank you.
one true, sir.
No. But we get 11
Yes,
questions.
sorry, sir.
Then the
Sorry, sir. True, sir. I want to know if the Drugs and Law Enforcement Agency they work in a criminal syndicate for protect the one that they call the drugs and salon rather than protecting the Sierra there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. No, I think we'll be yes, you and then you.
Ibrahim Sarasisi, Voice of Salon Radio. Mr. Kaikai and also the Minister of Information. We get the National Drug Control Act of 2008. Section 6, 7, and 8 criminalize both the one they weed in the cellar and the one they weed in the smoker. Now, if una say una need to criminalize one they weed in the smoker, una catch here and left there, you not believe say back then go find and method for produce drug in this country. And also, Madam Labor, looking at the things where they happening through mental issues, we get one of the key aspects where they affect young people, anxiety disorder. Now, taking it to that one day, we don't see a lot of young people where the worker not treat self, they talk by themselves. How una go able manage the situation of young people that we then they take this Kush, where they don't mentally affected?
Thank you. I think now the last, we'll get 1, 2, 3. But okay, now one question per person. We're really out of time. So go.
Yes, just want to ask why Naomi Samura, Star Radio. I just want to know why government not can start a fight, except so thinking don't worse. Now the 10 they can seriously committed for Fed. One, now this drugs way they affect so now. Secondly, last year we get a torrential rainfall, will cause serious collapse of house and debt. And at the same time, the past years where that mudslide take place, and the same time where the mudslide take place, houses then the way they develop they right now. Why government not can start the feds fast so the feds come? There's sir. Please, sir, just please.
One question, please. We're out of time.
Sir, please.
There's 2 more. Pass the mic. Yes.
Ahmed Ture, Kia Times newspaper. Professor Fode and Mr. Kaikai. Maybe you, Mr. Minister, concerning about the disappearance of the container water key. When are the latest development now? And why we now withheld the person in charge of the 17 bags of suspected Kush and the 91 chemical substance of shots? We now withheld that particular person, who then 2 items there. When are the latest development? Thank you very much.
Okay, this lady, and I get a final question. Yes.
Hello, good afternoon. Alima Tukabo from Vantage newspaper. My question now to Chief Kaikai. First of all, I want to say I really appreciate the work you do in collaboration with the Sierra Leone police in this recent operations we want to do for fight against Kush. But to your greatest surprise, I know say you go shock for no say stakeholders them then at Sierra Leone, we know want to make this fet done. And why reason being because then they go na the border, then they import this Kush or bring and come back na salon. Now my question is that how the special security unit when a your unit don't plan for address potential weaknesses na the border control that might be contributing to Kush trafficking inside or within Sierra Leone. Thank you.
All right. We get challenge now. I will allow done before 4 o'clock. I get 4 o'clock meeting. We get 20 minutes. We get about 15, 16 questions. Majority of the questions are now two. So what we do, una really on the side, una the answer on your own quick. Do you want to take 1 minute if you can? Keep and short. They will come to you, Professor. They will come to you, Mr. Kaikai. I go time on I go on 4 minutes. We'll do and we'll wrap up. Yes.
Okay, thank you. So the first question regarding the Lunacy Act. I understand that the Lunacy Act has been placed in Parliament. And I want to say that the work that we do, we're working on mental health and psychosocial support before, during, and after emergency. So we're at the public health aspect we they look at, and then when we talk about where this man desire talk about prevention, there's something where they call the biopsychosocial model. So we all different. We all within we mind different. We all outside we there on the spectrum of mental health, it different. So not a one size fits all. It different to all man. You go take Kush, Father forgive today, you okay. Me go take I'm addicted. So there's very different factors there. But we can talk later because I get 10 seconds. You talked about anxiety. In order for someone to have anxiety, they have to meet the criteria for anxiety. What you describe, the person they talk by himself, it may be psychosis, it may be schizophrenia, it may be schizoaffective disorders. So it could be anything, but somebody get for go let them examine and let them make sure they meet the criteria and the definition for the ICD-10 or the I believe ICD-11 and DSM-5.
Substandard staff, now na the gi. Medal them, now na the gi. And then I think there was a question as well about the extent of community engagement, especially with religious leaders. Yes.
Thank you, Minister. I just want to say Interreligious Council and the community radios, they are one of the two areas then that will be left out where I want to give a shout out to them because they don't always support we in the community engagement pillar. And as we brothers say, yes, Interreligious Council, we'll get them on board, then they preach about this thing at the churches, them, the community radios, then they carry them, and we want to tell them thank you. About the medal, the substandard, I think say anybody will be in a Cambia, we see that 17 paramount chief, then way they lined up, put them, they receive that and staff, and that the medal. Naturally, you know, we see anything way in a substandard around that ceremony day. But again, we all get rights to your opinion. So, but I get that opinion, they get that opinion there. But we know, say, waiting with they get the paramount chief them, it be fitting to the paramount chief them, and at that they don't get all this time. The other person question was that FCC, we don't put out something where they say they don't take 220 the body then not treat well. I want to tell now, I say categorically say that data not correct. And not to me say so. Now waiting FCC sent to we, the data we sent to we fall short about 20 people there. But again, for purposes of time, we will engage FCC on those data. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Professor, I want to come to you. May you focus on, they ask a question about data. Good point. You say, why will not mention mortality data? So I will like maybe let you engage on that question there as well. I think a number of the other questions and a question that we don't address before, and there was a statement where the man asked you for address, say, oh, whether it's a saloon problem or not, until you don't clarify. But go ahead and take maybe a few minutes for just close as well.
Yes, sir, thank you. Gentlemen, I think the statement he makes say not to Sierra Leone, but it's not to only a Sierra Leone problem.
Exactly.
Because if you look at the data will report widely distributed. You see, say, waiting they have now they happen at Senegal, now they happen at Cape Verde, now they happen at Gambia, Liberia, Guinea, everywhere. So that makes us say not only a Sierra Leone problem, but not a West African problem. Hence, they don't declare West Africa as a hot spot for synthetic opioids than it is all the literature. Then on the number of deaths, you see, I present a very beautiful picture of what you don't do and whatever, not about number of deaths. For let you ascertain, say that Kush kills person, definitely you're going to do a postmortem and whatever. I know the talk say people will not die. The people that don't pick that street, I know the talk say they don't die of Kush. But for now, talk say this the cause of death na Kush, you're going to do toxicology study, you're going to do postmortem. But still a concern with, because even one death, they concern the governments. So they take them very seriously. And with the new SOPs, then we Ministry of Local Government, Ministry of Health, and Ministry of Internal Affairs don't put together. I sure say that will give you a definite picture of waiting na the cause of death of any death we dem see na streets now, because we get clear SOPs before they remove the body from the streets. If at all we get the 0900 call, then they come. They call the medical examiner within 2 hours. They take that body, they come on a mortuary, and they can do postmortem and do a cause of death. Then they inform FCC for provide a dog grave. So we get clear SOPs now. So I'm sure say you concerns them. I'm sure say we'll go able to address some of that. So we'll involve everybody for that will help for this threat here. Thank you.
The number for call, if you see a corpse, dead body, where you suspect say this na the body of somebody, nobody know they been, and 900, but you can still call 117. The number where you need for know for all thing emergency Kush related, call 117. That call center go direct you call as appropriate. For quick dead body, na 900 you call, and then you go deal with that. Mr. Kaikai, the question them, I go summarize them around one, compromising of the security sector. Then say, in the case soldier man they would Kush, the hand in the day. Two, then say disappeared containers. I think Salon Police don't clarify that part today, they may don't give, but maybe you will talk about that and they say, in fact, no container not been disappear. But then also the idea of the identity of the individual, the way they being seized items, they say will not be released. Then there was a question where I consider a little bit more personal, say about whether the public can trust you, considering past accusations you've been get for deal with in the past. So I think down and then at the categories of question there, well, I want Lord give you maybe 4 minutes, since you might take a time to respond to that. 4 to 5 minutes for let you just respond, then we'll wrap up. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister. First of all, let her pull the personal issue aside. Mr. Mohammed Usman, thank you very much for that question. I appreciate how you asked that question. And here is why. You know, back in July of 2024, anti-corruption, they don't begin investigate me since 2023. They came back in July with a result or the report, they exonerate me. Because after due diligence, you can go back to anti-corruption and read that press release. But again, I'm grateful for the question because the public need for no, everybody need for no. Thank you very much. Then number two, on the other issue of trust, me not speak to the issue currently they under investigation. Me now also, German, I give me life for this country. This me foot where she don't so. They broke out during the war, the longest ambush in the war, 1994, August 29. They told them we bonded 100 more to carry them. Most of them will be there around it, they will not know. So I've always dedicated myself, my life, to the service of this country. And I still they do them. So I left soldier work. I'm a US trained lawyer, I'm a criminal defense trial lawyer. So now that make I not go respond to the issues under current investigation. Because as a lawyer, I think I ought to know better. So that's in that side of it. Now let's talk about law enforcement. Sylvia, I think Aminata, now you asked about law enforcement, the involvement in drugs, no so. Even up to yesterday, when we go out to the east, they arrest one OSD officer. As I talk to you, in custody right now. The last week, we don't arrest about 3. And one thing where I respect the IG Fire Cell for, and the current Chief of Defense Staff, Lieutenant General Adara, now the commitment to this fight. So over the years, over the months, every law enforcement officer, whether it be soldier, whether it be police, we catch you with Kush, or we catch you sit down, even who side the what they do Kush. We don't need for catch and Johanna. You are going to be dismissed. The police don't do them, the military they do them. There's a zero tolerance for law enforcement when it comes to any drug issue, let alone Kush. So that day they happen. I think that Sylvia talked about the destruction of the drugs them and the dangers where it pose health-wise or environmental-wise. I want to let you know, say, as I talk to you right now, government, they honor and government, they invest in incinerators them. Because we do understand, we don't get that problem before. I remember 110 days where Mr. said where they go light the fire. I for them. Because remember, they light fire, they run, let it not explode. So we know that with the government committed, the government they handle them. Then let me see here. Paalaji, you know possible I don't sabi for long, any also I go and they meet you. You know one of the most committed journalists and CSO people there. Now, Kanike, Mr. Minister. You know, Kanike will begin this recent rates. Kanike is one of the very first places who go. Now, Mr. go there. You get a lot of picking the way they suffer from Kush, a lot of sores. But one thing where I can tell you, I agree with the minister, the Kanike community, they're very serious. I meet the chief them, I meet the authorities them, they welcome with open hands and they're committed for this fete with we. Then also, as you be talking just now, but they want to hold water bottle and we get drugs under. That is not true. Again, if they link them back to them schools, they will be to talk about just now. They want to pretend say that they go celebrate their abobo. They get Kush or they get other drugs they under. Would they go there, sir? This fete, I should not begin as so. This Tribune, now make a gladdy when somebody asks just now about NDLA. President don't make a commitment, government don't make a commitment for fully support NDLA. So as long as I get the requisite support, me na soldier, and I get soldier and police there with NDLA people them, all day na street day and night. As long as we get the support, if they not blow, we know they blow. We defend this threat and we go win them.
Well, on that note today, La just reiterates as the government spokesman that President Bio in commitment to this fete, absolute, no sacred cow no day. If you get any information, not to then say, not to speculation, because you can share speculation, 117, it's okay. But not expect, say, the justice system as alone, they convict person based on speculation. You need to forget evidence. Because sometimes you go see me, I wear me nice cap, you say, because see, but the only reason you make you wear that cap now because of Kush. Then you call. Then they can't check. Then they say, boo. Just because you don't like Pansy, but then you go say, we call police and go to that house and the only man they left and back. There needs to be evidence before because people then go use down the back for try for poor young company we not like. What's the way you get bad that for? Yeah, we'll get small bad that, but kababi don't talk today. So we need for make sure say we get the right information we give. The commitment we'll get is we'll act on it. On education, Minister of Education will continue to provide more updates on the curriculum, on the way they prepare the teachers them, and also we don't work with higher education, the teachers them, and for roll out effectively through the school system. So that commitment they do. On the mobile phone companies, I don't say when I say option they wake up by internet. The mobile data is constant. The mobile phone, the tariff call and phone call, they are the same, and they not change. But if the internet where they use the dongle, because some man don't go buy dongle, you don't put it on phone. Now they use hotspot. And our internet service provider constantly. We know they provide floor or ceiling price for that. Now the markets they regulate. And on that day, what's now promotion they provide, they can switch, then change. There is, we you know like, if most of them are to SIM phone again also, if you don't like the one, you buy the other one SIM card, you switch. Based on the quality. Where you go the back, if the quality not sweet for you, you go back to come out. The AC are not small. Not so, it's a free market. So low approach on that. No response. We don't already address them. Now you make. So I want to thank you to UNDP, to the Chinese governments, to VSO, to now always patience and carry we live all the way through to this time. And I want for just me when I know say December 11 to December 13. This U building perimeter will shut her out completely. We bring on the Salon Civic Festival. Every ministry, every department, every agency, they get a display in a year. Then they can show what they don't achieve for the year. Then they can show what they know, what in the function. And we do a development showcase in multiple town halls. So mark the dates. You will see more and more information about that. All the agencies are there. They all get for day. Every citizen across the country for Kaya and land what the government do for you over the past 2 years. We President Bill don't come back na power. Until next week, Assalamu alaikum.